Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Immortality Season 5 Episode 15 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. As soon as Fang Han's words came out, an icy chill suddenly swayed in Dan Fang. No one can think of Fang Han's speech suddenly changing his face. Whether it is Wu Li or Xian Tai, real person, they stand up fiercely and look at Fang Han with a shocked look commonly. They used to calculate, take the 5 elements of the roots, disposed of extortion, and expect that they will be promised. Then hands out the spirits, forget the water, and even the law, and then go with them to the sinister wild temple to take the lead. The benefits let them all get. At this time, Fang Han still has ** years left, and it is necessary to make a decisive battle with Hua Qian. Everyone knows that time is precious to Fang Han, and Xian Tai, real people, Wu Li, and others have made good ideas. Where did they know that Fang Han did not discuss it, and immediately turned his face, faster than flipping a book? Moreover, the murderous spirit is deep, and a pair of kings who have been deceived by the courtiers are like. The cold eyes swept them, making Xian Tai, real people, Wu Li, and other true disciples, feeling like they had committed the crime of deception of the king. I can refine Yuan Ying Dan, in the same way that people are good, and share the same door. If you come to seek the spirit, I will never be jealous, nor will you covet your magic weapon. But you are deliberate, you dare to use means. Deceive me, when I am cold, is it a good person? If Fang Handong looks at the fire, he will know what the other party is moving when he hears the real thing of the mysterious iron. Hey! At this time, Xian Tai, real people, wake up, his face stunned, and pointed to Fang Han Dao. Fang Han, we are kind and willing to tell you the whereabouts of the 5 elements. You not only do not appreciate, but also the evil words are opposite. What is the heart? I don't have any heart. Fang Han said in a small way, you have to exchange. I can give you a lot of Yuan Ying Dan, and even you can forget the water. You can tell me the whereabouts of the 5 elements. The rest, everything. Free talk? This time, I don't want to say it. Let you fight with Hua Qian 9 years later. Xian Tai, real people, suddenly smiled and said, since we can't talk, you think we are going to harm you? What else? Say? Let's say goodbye. I don't want to lie, I want to go. Where is this easy thing? Fang Han shrugged his shoulders. He knows that his qualifications are shallow, and he has produced Yuan Ying Dan to supply disciples. Although it is said to be a gift, in some people's eyes, it will become a big head. This is not a disciple of Xian Tai, real people, just as a big head. It is better to take this opportunity to rectify them and set a majesty among the sects. As soon as I heard that Fang Han was not allowed to go, I suddenly had a murderous body on the body of Xian Tai. Wu Li is killing, and he is very angry. Ha 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 ha, Fang Han, you are arrogant, self-righteous, and have a few adventures. You can despise my entire disciples, true disciples. You have not yet completed Jin Dan. It seems that we are a good heart, and you are treated as a liver and lung. You think you are powerful. I have to see your Dao. You? It seems that I am not qualified to let me do it. Fang Han stared at Wu Li for a while. Tai, the 6 real people and me, are all taken by me. Do you think you are comparable to the 6 real people? Ha 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 ha. The group of cockroaches who are 2-1 door, how can you compare with me? They are raised by the sects, the clothes come to reach out, the rice is to open their mouths, except that the eyes are taller than the sky. How can they compare with me? The young demon slayer, the battle of the devil, the sorcerer's cave, the 9 deaths. The wind comes, the rain goes, the experience is a magical power. It seems that you rely on 2 occasional magic weapons, hit a few. Hey, I thought I was going to get a fairy. Between the real iron and the real voice, the tone is proud. Okay, if that is the case, how do you compare with me on the heavenly platform? You are a 6-handed master, a master of the world. I just practiced a 5-way supernatural power, and even the 5 elements are not well consolidated. I must have you at steady to pack me up. But if you lose, tell me the whereabouts of the 5 elements. I lost, I will give you 3,000 yuan, and 3,000 drops of love. Do you have courage in me? Determined to be high? Fang Han looked at Xian Tai real people with a playful look. Wu Li. Xian Tai real people shake the body of the black iron shirt. About you was a month ago. The elders helped you to make the magic knife blood into a lower quality device. It is so prestige. Since one heart and one mind, give me 3,000 yuan baby Dan. Forget the water, I will not stop you. Hey! Let's see you on the table. Between the talks, the real body of the mysterious iron flashed, and even the hard-moving move out of the Dan Fang of Fang Han. Wu Li and others just sneered and flew out. Fang Han, you and them fight on the heavenly platform, it is to stand up. Indigo stopped his hand. These people, indeed, think that you are weak and deceivable, actually want to use the 5 elements of Lingzhen to lure you. You are eager to cultivate, and you want to take advantage of it, but you have seen it. Sister knows where there are 5 spirits. Fang Han asked quickly. Indigo shook his head. If I knew, I told you earlier. But we have a disciple named Meng Xiaobai at the door of Yuhua, but I have received the spiritual roots of the 5 elements. This person is called a little child prodigy and has been traveling outside. I am afraid that it has been completed now. Jin Dan is also a proud son of the sky. Xian Tai real people once pleased him, so he inquired about the whereabouts of the 5 elements. The true disciple of Yuhua men, more than 100, all of them are mysterious. Actually have such a role? In the future, it seems to be a good insight. Fang Han Dao, I am going to the Tiantai, I don't know the sisters. Going to watch the game. Of course, we must watch the war. For a long time, there is no real disciple to fight. Indigo said, I estimate that the alarm bell will ring, and all the true disciples who have cultivated will go to watch the battle. Good. This is more convenient for me. Fang Han's body moved, and a green gas rose from the bottom of his feet and flew directly to the sky, flying to the heavenly penalty platform in the Yuhua temple. At this time, on the high heavenly platform, Xian Tai real people, Wu Li, and 3 true disciples of the heavenly world have stood. Seeing Fang Hanfei coming, just sneer. How? 5 of you want to besiege me? Fang Han talked, a long shout, shocked the quartet, the mountains responded. The peaks of all the mountains are flashing, and many true disciples fly from the mountain peaks. Looking at the Qianyintai, they see that there are seemingly true disciples to compete, and they are all excited to glimpse. True disciples compete on the scales, and gambling is a rare thing. In particular, it is even rarer to practice the master battles of the 5-level, heaven and heaven, level. These masters are busy collecting medicines and alchemy, collecting 5 elements of spirits, practicing magical powers, breaking through the realm, and fighting for life. Where is their time to kill and die? The true disciples in all directions flew around the Yuhua temple, watching the high heavens on the platform. Fang Han and Xian Tai real people, several people. It's the Fang Han, but it's a big show recently. Yeah, he can actually refine Yuan Ying Dan. Dan Fang has returned, but the material is hard to find. How can he so much refining? Is it true that the 5 prisons have a magical effect? At this time last year, he was still a foreign disciple, a fleshy body. This year, he cultivated to the supernatural powers and communicated with the heavenly people. This is fast, it is really shocking. It is rare in the ages. That's not it. I heard that he spent 18 days in Taiyuan Shenfu. 1 day outside, 1 year inside, he also practiced for 18 years. 28 years, that's not a problem. 20 years of time is only enough for us to practice a kind of magical power. I don't know why he should compete with Xian Tai real people this time. Xian Tai is a master of cultivation. Years ago, rumors would have to be practiced as Jin Dan. Fang Han is even more powerful, and I am only afraid of the difference between the real and the mysterious. That's not necessarily. You forgot. A few days ago, the blood was shining. It was Fang Han's blood knife, and he was given a ritual by the elders of heaven. I don't know what he contributed to the sect. Oh. Ling Bai, Wan Luo brothers have come to watch the battle. In the voice of a true disciple's argument, among the 5 true disciples, Nanwen Luo, Dong Lingyi also flew and fell around the Tiantai. I don't know if Hua Qianju's brother will come. Hua Qianju's brother went to Tai. Let's go together, joke. Let me see how your magical powers. Think that you can do whatever you want by relying on a ****** knife. Wu Li ignored the truth of the four sides. Disciple, grabbed with his hand, suddenly a sharp sword on his head, caught in his hand. It became a long sword with a strange shape which depicts a lot of patterns, like gold and gold, like iron. This ancient sword exudes a powerful mana, and it is shocked out. There seemed to be thousands of monsters roaring and laughing. As long as he waved his hand, the fierce gods in it would rush out and drown the people. This sword is also a treasure of high quality. It is also a top-quality treasure. But definitely not my opponent. You still go together. I am troubled in the province. Fang Han ha smiled, the palm of his hand condensed 5 blood, such as electricity like the wind Yin Hong bright, cinnabar in general, suddenly burst out and killed 5 people. This is the knife of the blood of the magic knife. Even the shot is to attack 5 people. Hey! 5 ***** knives, while colliding with 5 swords. 5 figures fly? Wu Liwu released his flying sword and resisted the knife light of Fang Han. These 5 people are the high-ranking disciples of the Feathered Door. The flying swords in each hand are excellent treasures. In particular, the flying sword of the real iron of the mysterious iron is actually a treasure trove, called the Die Zongqian Long Sword. Between the shots is a deep dragon, attacking the hearts of the people. It's just a dead end. You are all back. I am coming. The mysterious real person flew out of the Die Zongqian Long Sword to resist the ***** knife, and suddenly the Qianlong sword changed and disappeared out of thin air. The next moment, it was killed on the body of Fang Han. Actually, it is instant killing ****. He was angry and decided to compete with Fang Han. Fang Han is not going to kill the ****, because he has not cultivated a big self-supplement, but he has not studied instant killing ****. In fact, his current cultivation is a realm. The 5 elements are not complete, but it is the first time to enter the Celestine the extent of the situation. And Xian Tai Real Man is the pinnacle of Liu Zhongshan Tong's return to 1. The gap between the 2 worlds is not too big. However, fortunately, Fang Han's mana is full of 500,000 horses, but the Xian Tai Real Man is only 150,000. The difference is 4 times up and down. The master who entered the human world is generally the power of the horse. With the deepening of cultivation, the 5 elements are complete, the magical power is gradually increasing, and the peak can be cultivated to 30,000 or 50,000. Once stepped into the return to the realm, all the supernatural powers condensed into a record, the spirit changed, and the mana surged. Can be promoted to 100,000. Stepping into the peak, it can increase a lot. As for entering the realm of Jindan, it is even more powerful. On the same day, Xie Yu, burned 3 people, swallowed the madness to reduce life, the mana increased tenfold, exhausted the magic weapon, still being used by the magic handsome 1 finger, big collapse, to play the magic weapon, the lights are dry. This is the gap. Hey! The real-time killing of the mysterious iron **** was cut to Fang Han, a hit. Instant killing ***, pay attention to is fast, killing people with 1 shot, even the enemy urging the magic weapon, mobilizing the time to protect the body suffocating, it has been a life. The mysterious killing of the mysterious man of the mysterious realm is more than 10 times more powerful than the skin dragon. Suddenly shot, there are very few people who dodge the past. Even if it is a master of Jindan, it will be subject to miscalculation, and the ship will be overturned in the gutter. Bingo! Many of the masters who were present saw the flying sword of the real iron of the mysterious iron, and slashed it to Fang Han. In an instant, tearing open all kinds of brilliance, protecting the body and suffocating, to kill the body in half, they were all shocked. However, Fang Han's body was suddenly exploding into a mass which seemed to be a fantasy. Like a mirage, it has evolved a variety of waves, blue sky, white clouds, and islands. Hai Sang Qigong. It was not the body of Fang Han that was cut, but a group of suffocating. Fang Han's body, I don't know where to go, and no traces can be seen. Even mana fluctuations, breathing, and heartbeat disappeared. This is one of his supernatural powers, called Haitsung Qigong, one of the 28 kinds of supernatural powers contained in the Fire Cloud Fairy Jindan. Jindan of the Fire Cloud Fairy, 28 kinds of magical powers, Black Windstorm. Big Day Fire. Changchun ***. Tian's ***. Blessing. Galaxy ***. Dragon and Tiger ***. Days Jianqi. The real soul of the soil. Taishan Lei broke. Red blood rushing. Yuan Ling Qigong. Ice and snow boundaries. Sky. Killing the road. Phoenix dance. Shu Q Ming. 7 real fists in the sky. Crystal virtual power claw. Social strength. True phantom. Haishu Qigong. King Kong iron bone handprint. Jinxiang fans. Really dragon-shaped wave. Snakes are swimming. 8-pole Shinto. Exquisite Da Luo Tian. These 28 kinds of magical powers, each of which is a great supernatural power, is extremely abnormal. Exhibited and changed, it is impossible to prevent people from being prevented. Among them, Haitsung Qigong is collected in the deep sea, and it is hard to practice, arbitrarily changing, hiding traces, confusing the enemy, and being unparalleled. This, Haitsung Qigong, is a great supernatural power that was developed by Huiyun Xianzi, not Fang Han. Therefore, even though the realm of the mysterious iron is higher than the square, it cannot be seen. Hey! You alone, can you compare with me? Even if I don't need a magic knife, I can easily hold you. Fang Han's ethereal voice, moving up the heavens, everyone saw only a phantom as a ghost, you can walk around. Thousands of phantoms, shaking everywhere, everyone feels that Fang Han is forced to come over to himself, and it is impossible to tell which is the true shape of Fang Han, which is the shadow. This is another magical power, true shape phantom. Collecting light and dark shadows, hard work. In the past, Huiyun Fairy spent a time in order to practice this magical power. True shape phantom surgery is unfolding, the body shakes, it is a million shadows, shaking everywhere, just can restrain the instant kill. Instant killing *** to aim at the target, in order to hit a kill, but thousands of shadows, do not know what is the real body, but also how to kill. Every kind of supernatural power is not invincible. Because of this, the more people who practice the magical power, the more powerful they are. Because there is always a supernatural power to restrain others. Cold light iron clothes. Seeing such a scene, Xian Tai real person is also a role in the battle after all. Without any panic, the black iron body suddenly issued 1,000 cold light, illuminate. His mysterious iron battlesuit is a strange treasure, ancient Chishan, a top-quality treasurer, although not as complete as the 5 prisons, there are many arrays, but the defense is very high. In the midst of a fierce chill, the gas of gold and iron was mixed, and it was cut to a million shadows. At the same time, his body rose and his eyes appeared in the eyes of the 9 palaces. This is the Jiogong deity of Yuhuamen Shintong, which is condensed on both eyes and can see through all obstacles. 9 palaces is a supernatural power similar to Linglong Da Luo Tian. It involves the change of illusory time and space, which is very powerful. If you cultivate to the longevity secret, you can arrange the labyrinth of time and space. When you go to the mysterious secrets, you can also see all the illusions. In conjunction with the cold light of the black iron war suit, in an instant, he saw through the true shape of Fang Han, and the handle was raised, and it was a magic weapon that was thrown out. This magic weapon, the shot is a fusiform black light emitting thousands of fierce whistling, bursts of sound waves, seems to shake the peaks of the Yuhua mountain while the tail of the shuttle darts trembles, constantly blasting millions of phosphor-green Mars, like fireworks. These phosphorescent Mars hit many phantoms of Fang Han, and those phantoms were destroyed. Every ignition star has a devastating power. Tianyin Phosphorus Shuttle. Watching the battle of Wan Luo, Ling Yu, Indigo, all slightly glimpse, this magic weapon, extraordinary, is the best treasure. They are masters of Jindan, and there are few pieces in this magic weapon. Treasures, the size of the power of the road is also divided for the next, middle, top, and special. 5 Prison Kings, the magic knife blood is nothing. It is a rare treasure. Linglong Da Luo Tian. Around Fang Han's body, suddenly broke out the 99 chessboards, and wrapped this Tianyin phosphorus shuttle. Then, with his hands raised, a huge cannon of light, condensed into a dragon shape, directly impacted. This group of light cannons is like an aurora. Bright and dazzling, crystal mancing throughout the world. The light of the earth, the mysteriousness of the heavens, the yin and yang, the smashing of the obstacles. The dragon is really a wave. It is also a great supernatural power, real dragon-shaped wave, which is made of aurora, hard and powerful, and can flatten a mountain. Hey! Xiantai real people never imagined that Fang Han actually trapped his hidden deep, Tianyin phosphorus shuttle, by virtue of Shentong, and was about to use his mana to recover, but a group of dragon-shaped aurora, face-to-face impact, dodge. Directly hit on his black iron battlesuit. In an instant, the treasure of the black iron battlesuit collapsed and melted. 9 palaces got shape. He screamed, slammed his body and suffocated, and his body showed a pattern of the 9 palaces. He collided with the dragon-shaped true waves, and the Jiogong pattern completely resisted the dragon-shaped waves, rotating at high speed, and nourishing. Everywhere is full of light and rain. It seems that there is an aurora rain. This is all able to withstand it? It is better than the 7 Leaves Devil. It is only a trace. You can practice Jindan. Our true disciple of Yu Huamen is really extremely powerful. Fang Han was surprised. He even shot. I wanted to defeat the mysterious real person directly, but the other side was hard to resist. Tai Yishan Lei broke. Fang Han is no longer hesitant. With both hands coming out, a cloud of fire is mixed with thunder, covering the past, like a pot lid, directly covering the real iron. Shocking the sky, playing the ground, shaking the mountain, the air is full of ripples, the white clouds in the sky are all scattered. Tai Yishan Lei is more fierce than the purple electric yin, and the shot is fierce and majestic. The gold of hardware. The shape of the sun and the moon, the big freedom, the empty space. Give me a break. At this critical juncture, Xiantai real people once again showed a strong strength. The body spewed thousands of swords, even incorporate with the Da Zong Tian long sword, turn it into a sword-like sword, and open the thunder fire, and the hard one is broken. At the same time, he spurted out a stream of blood, and the Tianyin phosphorus shuttle trapped by the exquisite Da Luo Tian shook his head again, bursting out the phosphorus fire and rushing out. It seems to get out of trouble. Fang Han's face was extremely cold, his hands were awkward, a black wind, a bright flame brewed in the palm of his hand, suddenly hit. This is the real start, the 2 groups of supreme magic, Xian Men 12 Law, Black Wind Disaster, Big Day Fire. The 2 groups of fires, when they came out, the overwhelming pressure surged out. Just one time, they destroyed the Tianyin phosphorus shuttle and dropped it on the scales. Then a group of fires flew out and hit the real iron. Above the body, Great Day Fire. The mysterious real people also realized that this is a big day fire in the Taisho Megatron. This magical power, although not exquisite, is so mysterious and deep, but on the purely killing, it burns everything. When you shot together, Wu Li saw that the big fire hit the real body of Xuanta, and immediately shot, suddenly all over the body, the water ripples, a mighty river, rushing away, trying to use water to extinguish the fire. This is the water ***** of the Feather Gate. The other 3 true disciples have also displayed the ***** of water. They are the strongest of the 5-fold, heaven and man, and they have cultivated all kinds of supernatural powers. At least the 5 elements of qi have been cultivated to a certain level. 1 Shuaishan, Jianmu ****, Bayan Qiumang, Mountain Refining Hay, the Big Self is Xian Jin Jian. These 5 kinds of magical powers are compulsory. With water and fire, the 4 masters must extinguish the big day fire of Fang Han. Hey! The big day fire collided with the 4 waters and the suffocating gas. At the same time, all the squadrons were violent water vapor. The water that suffocated the water was heavy water, and one drop was heavier than mercury. Come, there is water waves between heaven and earth. However, it still can't resist the big day fire, and a lot of it is evaporated. Seeing it is not good, Xiantai real people also displayed the ***** of water, fighting against Fang Han. A group of water, a flame, instantly fight in the sky. A lot of true disciples, seeing Fang Han actually rely on his own magical powers, with an enemy 5, have widened their eyes. Fang Han just started, did not use the power of the blood knife. I still underestimated this person. The 5 elements are not gathered together, it is so powerful. If he waits for the 5 emperors to become a master, is it still? Wan Luo, the 2 great Jindan disciples of Lingbai, saw this scene, and they looked at each other and saw each other's eyes. With water and fire? Good. Originally between the 5 elements, each other, but I have to see, your water can restrain me, how much fire? Suzaku dance, phoenix sound. Red Emperor fire. Fang Han saw that his big day fire was resisted, the water and fire forced each other, and he couldn't move forward. He couldn't help but smile coldly. The 3 flames on his body rose again. One of the flames became a full dozen. The length of the cap is short, and the whole body is a piece of Suzaku bird composed of bright flame feathers. The other flame is a phoenix. There is also a flame, although the power of these 2 flame birds is huge, but the essence is more terrible than the 2 great birds. In the flame, there is a vaguely visible figure of a scepter and a crown of fire. It is the Red Emperor, the Emperor of Fire, who masters the heavens and the earth, all the flames, the infinite heat of the Supreme Emperor. There are 4 kinds of fire-powered magical powers in Fang Han. The first is the Big Day Fire, the second is the Suzaku Dance, the third is the Phoenix, and the fourth is the Red Emperor. Among them, the Big Day Fire is the most powerful, and the Red Emperor Fire is the smallest. However, the most profound method of exercise is the imperial power of the Red Emperor. However, Fang Han has not yet refining Daocheng, although he has taken a firefighting magic weapon Jukeki, but it still has a lot of heat. The 5 emperors are not the same as the general magical powers. The 5 elements required are also massive. This party is clear in the heart, others practice gold, and perhaps as long as the refining of a few flying swords, it can be small. However, he has to cultivate the Baidi Golden Emperor, and it is not enough to refine several Jinshan Yinshan Tais and Copper Mountain. However, once it is refining, it is also powerless, incarnate the 5 emperors and 5 emperors, and the king is on the horizon. Between the heavens and the celestial world, it is invincible for the emperor of the ancient times. Otherwise, this is not the first master of the past. The Suzaku bird, the Phoenix ***** bird, the Red Emperor Fire Emperor's 3 flames of magical powers, one of them rushed out, suddenly, the entire heavenly platform, the flames rolling, the real disciples in the distance dozens of miles away, used the bodyguard magic. They feel that it is hard to be hot. Hey! 5 sounds. Xiantai real people, Wu Li, and 3 true disciples, all of them are shocked. Each one was strongly flamed and shocked the platform. The flame wrapped them, forming a transparent eggshell and trapping them all. The flames of the hula hula are burning. But it did not burn to their bodies. How? Xiantai real person thought that he was not dead or seriously injured this time, but he did not think that the flame only condensed into an eggshell around him, wrapped himself, but did not penetrate at all, and his body felt no heat at all. This is clearly a square cold control of the flame, to a realm of fire. This person's supernatural powers are incredible. Anyway, Xiantai real people know that they have lost. If it weren't for the cold, the fire would be combined and entangled, and it would be turned into ashes. At this time, he naturally cannot make fun of his life, and finally cultivated to the peak of Shintone's 6, return to the world, longevity is expected, useless things, ruined life, it is not worth the loss. If you have a life, you will have everything in the future. Fang Han, you are supernatural, this time I will plant. The secret of the 5 elements, I tell you where. This is a map that details the secrets of the 5 elements. Just give it to you. Xiantai real people took a map from his arms and threw them out. Fang Han's eyes moved, the flame immediately turned into a big hand, grabbed the map, and received it back. The Emperor of the Red Emperor has this kind of subtlety. If it converges on heat, it will not burn anything. Even if you have reached the extreme, you can also get cold flames. Cold biting flame. And slow. At this moment, the word, 5 elements, gave a surprise to Wan Luo and Ling Ling. That Wan Luo suddenly shot, fiercely grabbed, a strong force, shocked to the real iron, Wu Li and other 5 the true disciples flame above the eggshell. Hey! Fang Han felt an infinite force, crowded from the void in all directions. His own flames could not survive, and they were forced to come back. Xian Tai real people, Wu Li and other 5 true disciples, immediately separated from the bondage. How? What do you want to do? Fang Han looked cold and looked at Wan Luo. I don't know why he spoiled. This Wan Luo is a master of Jin Dan. It is different from the real person of Xian Tai. Just before the shot, the power of the mana is not inferior to himself. Everything is golden, the mana is boundless, life will change, and the essence will be different. Don't want to do anything. Wan Luo smiled and said, I don't think you are gambling. It is actually the fall of the world of the 5 elements. This kind of spiritual route, I also want. Fang Han, you are self-sufficient, too. In the Yuanxian house, I got the adventure and made all kinds of magical powers. The supernatural powers of the 6-way, return to the world, are not in the eyes. I don't know if I will not put me in my eyes. It turned out. Fang Han nodded and grabbed the map in his hand. I originally wanted to fight with me, gambling, is it? Do you dare? Wan Luo Yin smiled. Millions of brothers actually want to shoot. This is really a good show. The true disciples around the world just watched a party with a pair of 5, and the magical powers came out. They thought that today is enough, but there is no thinking of more exciting is still behind. Shentong 7 heavy, Jindan level master. Nanwen Luo actually speaks to challenge Fang Han. The 5 true disciples of Yuhuamen are all high. Respected by thousands of people, Fang Han is more powerful, but his reputation is worse than the 5 disciples. Yeah, Master Wan Luo obviously wants to suppress the arrogance of suppressing Fang Han, the wind is too strong. It is just like Meng Xiaobai. But Meng Xiaobai is always traveling, not practicing in the martial art. If these 2 people touch it more interesting. Don't say, guess who will win this time with Wan Luo and Fang Han? That's not good. Although the realm of Wan Luo's brother is high, but the Fang Han Shentong is so much, even more powerful, he still has a Taoist magic knife bloody. Even the legendary magic weapon of Huang Quan too. I heard that his Huang Quan map has been damaged, and he can't play the power. He can only practice medicinal herbs. We know Master Wan Luo will not know. Wan Luo brothers dare to take their own reputation to challenge, is to see through the details of Fang Han, have absolute certainty to act. Yes, who is a stalwart brother, it is obviously not sloppy. Obviously it is well informed. Fang Han listened to these arguments one by one in the ear, and could not help but frown. He certainly knows that Wan Luo Ming knows that his strength is strong, the blood of the sword is still not used, and he dares to challenge. It is clearly prepared. Have to be careful. If the master of the longevity secret is the Wangbu giant, then the master of the Jindan class is the eternal giant, and every master of the Jindan class has moving stories and adventures and fairy tales. Because it is impossible to cultivate to Jindan by virtue of hard training and no fairy tales and adventures. Practice, the first is luck, fortune, the second is understanding, and then it is hard training. The so-called time and place are the same, the hero is not free. Luck is coming, even if it is a fool, can also get the world's fairy. Luck, even if it is a hero, it also ended in miserable. Since Wan Luo was able to repair Jindan, there was an air transport. For such a person, Fang Han is not to be taken lightly. He is now gradual and deep, and he can already detect the luck and temperament in the air. These imaginary things show that Wan Luo is full of confidence and seems to have a grasp of his own victory. Wan Luo apparently heard the arguments of the true disciples, but once again forced Fang Han Dao. I don't know if Fang Han dare to gamble with me on this day. Seeing Wan Luo's aggressiveness, Fang Qingshue's eyebrows are upright and he is about to talk. Fang Han's head is up. Wan Luo, how do you want to bet? If you want a map of the 5 elements, you have to come up with a decent thing to gamble. I will naturally come up with something decent. Wan Luo seems to have guessed the psychology of Fang Han. With a wave of his hand, he has 2 more things in his hand, a piece of white gold, shining violently. At first glance, the white gold light seems to cut the human eye and bleed. Fang Han has never seen such a sharp gold and iron thing. The other piece is a drop of water. The size of the egg, the inside is faint, and the sound of countless water waves is ringing, as if a drop of water contains a big river like a river. 2 white gold star stone. 1 shui soft water essence. When Indigo looked at it, he was shocked and apparently saw the weight of these 2 things. How? You practice the 5 emperors, and you must have enough 5 elements of spirit. I have already seen it. Your golden water has not yet begun to practice. If you get these 2 treasures, though not as good as the 5 elements, but it will save you a minimum of 100 years of hard work. How? Wan Luo haha smiled. That's good. Bet on gambling. Fang Han blinked. Slow. Wan Luo shook his head. How? Fang Han Dao, don't you dare to gamble. I just suspected that the bet is too small. Our feathering door is not the number 1 in the world, but it is also at least 2nd. I don't gamble on it. I have to be stunned. I want you to add it. 1 thing? Wan Luo Dao. What? Fang Han bit his teeth, just sneer. The secret of the 5 emperors' magical demon. Wan Luo Dao, if you lose, give me the secrets of the 5 emperors. Giggling. Fang Han's throat uttered an owl-like cry. A piece of white gold star stone, you want to gamble on the 5 elements of the roots of the crystal, and the secret of the 5 emperors? Demon gods, each one is a superb supernatural power. Floating a million, can kill, can destroy the country, but cannot teach things. Your appetite is so big, you want. I naturally add things. Wan Luo shrugged his shoulders and took out a copy of the book. This is the Panwu vigorous power that I learned from the Hua Qianju brothers. It may not be under the 5 emperors. You win, 2 white gold star stone, million water soft crystal, and this lore is given to you. If you lose. What? Whether it is Indigo, Fang Qingxue, or Xiantai real people, Wu Li and other disciples are accelerating their heartbeat. This is no longer a gamble, it is desperate. It is good. The blood of the square is blinking. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.